Welcome, everyone. This is Tonya Hofmann, and this is my TV show. It's called the Tonya Hofmann's Fabulous TV Show because we have the best guests on all the time to give you great value, give you some great training, information, and things that will truly change your life. And I'm super excited today because we've got Mr. John on. Jim is trying to come on, and hopefully we'll see Miss Alicia back in just a minute. So today, what we wanted to cover is, there's Miss Alicia. Oh, Jim dropped it. And what we wanted to do is cover some training on different platforms, you know. And I know with so many amazing information, each one of us has expertise. And that's what I want to hear from each one of you. If you end up with any questions, just post it over in the messaging area, and we would love to have you come in and we'll answer any of your questions. Well, probably most everything. Oh, yay, Miss Alicia's coming back. So this is very casual because that's what Blab is. Yay, Alicia's here.
Sorry about that, guys.
And Jim's here. Yay! So I want to introduce each of you. I want you to kind of give everybody your little elevator pitch, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I'm going to have John. Why don't you go first? Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, John Gilchrist. I'm the managing principal of Fundraising Strategies. It is a nonprofit governance and fundraising firm. I do a lot of work with nonprofit boards to help them raise more money, to energize their boards, get them in proper alignment with the mission, and really focus on coaching nonprofit executives to be the development officers they always wanted to be.
Nice.
How about that?
That's awesome. Right? We're having a lot to talk about today.
Okay.
And Miss Alicia, tell us about how fabulous you are.
I'm so fabulous that I help people like John understand their branding so that we can create a branding foundation, get them going with their marketing materials. And it's not just business owners, but it's people who want to use speaking as a way to develop their business, authors, coaches, and trainers. And we do amazing things like these banners here and all kinds of promotional marketing materials that make you look fabulous. Tonya, you've been such a great client of mine, letting me work on your speaker sheet. Okay. And I can't wait to do your new one. So, and I love working with people who have expertise.
Yeah, she did my full page. As you can see, it's a full page layout, you know, crazy speaker sheet. She was fabulous. All righty, Jim, why don't you tell us about you?
Hi, everyone. Jim Pagiamtzis. I'm the founder of 21 Connections here in Toronto, where I help entrepreneurs learn, speak, and socialize with proven strategies that work. I'm also director of the Public Speakers Association here in Toronto.
Perfect. You've got some feedback going on over there.
Okay. Let me.
So, all right. So we're going to move on. For y'all to.
I don't know what I have to do here.
Yeah. And I muted you, but you don't mute. So some reason you're not muting. If y'all don't know, if y'all new to Blab and people that are on here are fabulous guests. Jim, is there a way for you to mute yourself? Okay. Perfect. So if y'all can clap, so the little hands in the corners, you click on the little hands, it's like clapping. And so you can give each other props, see? And then we can say when we like each other and what we are saying we're enjoying. All right. So if y'all haven't done that before, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like in Periscope, you touch the little screen and give everyone hearts.
I like that.
And by the way, I am Tonya Hofmann. I'm the CEO and founder of the Public Speakers Association and Career Speaker Academy. So if you'd like to find out anything about myself or my companies, we would love for you to get involved and help you reach out and make the impact that you need to grow your business, to grow yourself, to make money, and to realistically go out and change the world. And that's what we love, is that we can go out and change lives. So what we want to do is talk to each one of these fabulous people that each one of you needs to know and get some insight into their world, because each one of them, this is Training Tuesday, by the way. So what can they help us with? What can they give us great information on? So let's go with John first. So John, you have this incredible nonprofit world that you live in and that you help. So what is like some of the basic trainings that people usually don't do up front to help their nonprofit or realistically even their business really make a go for it?
A lot of times people get involved with nonprofits, Tonya, and they have this wonderful idea. They have this great passion that they want to change the world in some form or fashion, but sometimes they don't realize that they're actually starting a business, and they need to instill those business principles about startup funding. How do they go about raising money? What's their mission? Define it clearly, succinctly, so that they can explain it to a donor in 15 to 20 seconds. Now, yes, you're going to get into more of it as you move on with that, with that relationship with the donor. But oftentimes the founder becomes almost the sole entity of the nonprofit. And you've got a board that ideally you're going to have some really good people that share the same passion. They share the same interest that you do. And they need training in terms of what does it mean to be a good board member. There are legal duties. Duties of care, loyalty, and obedience, but they have a pivotal role in terms of being ambassadors, connectors, mavens, askers, all those things that sometimes they don't really understand at all. And what I work on is helping coalesce all those wonderful feelings into an actionable plan with toll gates so they can go on, 3 months, 6 months, a year. They know exactly where they need to be, and they can focus on doing the good work that they do. How's that?
I love that. Do you find, because I know I've been on a lot of nonprofit boards, and it seems like the issue that I always run into is they don't look at the nonprofit as a business, right? And they think that everything is just people are just from their bottom of their heart are just going to love their message and just give them money.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got this nonprofit, so you need to give me money. It's like, it doesn't work that way. I wish it did, but it just doesn't do that. You've got to sell it. You've got to really promote your message. You've got to promote why your organization, your nonprofit is better and more efficient at achieving its mission than the other 1.8 million nonprofits there are in the United States. And even if you have a particular niche, chances are that there are other organizations that are doing kind of the same work. I mean, take a look at all the veteran support groups, the cancer support groups. My goodness, there's all sorts of cancer organizations, and they all do good work, but they all require money in order to achieve their mission.
Right. And that's what I think people get kind of confused, because the word nonprofit doesn't mean you're not going to make a profit, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's still a business. You've got bills to pay. You've got people to pay. You've got services to pay for. You've got to spend some money to raise the money. And all those things, they do cost money. And nonprofit does not mean that you operate at a zero profit. It just means that nobody can take.
Oh, we lost John. All righty. Well, hopefully he'll be back in just a minute. So, Jim, you just unmuted yourself. Why don't you go?
So my name is Jim Pagiamtzis. I'm here from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And one of the things that I've really learned in my journey is the power of leverage. And I've been speaking since 2007. And basically the short story that I have is I had 3 articles, no book, none of this thing behind me yet. And I went all around here in Toronto and literally got speaking gigs, and just did it. Didn't say why not. I just did it, and I didn't know. People said no to me. I just kept on going, and I built a pretty good portfolio. And at the end of the day, I was just determined, persistent to share my message. And I had speaking about networking, mentorship, and marketing. And one of the things I tell PSA members who come to our events, and also friends, is that we all have an expertise. And you have to be able to share that. And I realized that there's times where you have a 10-minute presentation, a half-hour presentation, or a keynote. And I've done all of them. I've trained many individuals to do that correctly. And with the Public School Association now, I'm really getting to really make an impact.
Awesome. And John, I'm not sure why you're having difficulties. You may have to come back and go back in. This is called technology. And if y'all are just new to Blab, they're still under beta testing. And so things, mess up and things don't work. So, we kind of deal with it. So Jim, I know that you're one of the experts really in networking too. When you look at what I see in a lot of people with nonprofits, for business owners, you get all these amazing people and they don't go out and network and they wonder why they're not getting any business because nobody even knows about them, right? Do you have any kind of, suggestions on how to kind of make the networking scene work? Because I see a lot of people come in and they do one networking and they're like, well, that didn't work.
Yeah, it's a very good question. I'll try and give you a little synopsis. The key thing that I think is you have to be strategic. Here in Toronto, I don't know where everybody else is, but there's lots of events to go to. And I think really you have to decide who is your ideal message going to and which groups do you think will want to listen to you. That's part of the thing where you have to decide where to go. And I highly recommend that you can go at least one networking event a week. Or 2 to 4 a month, and ask around. Ask other individuals, where should I go? You'd be surprised if you just ask. One of my PSA members, Sujit Reddy, we have this motto called Power of Ask. If you ask, you will find out there's various connectors in every city, and I find here if you ask a few people, they'll direct you. And that cuts your time in half, Alicia, to find where you should go. So I teach strategic networking. So this morning I was at a corporate event this morning, and it wasn't ideally an event of mine, but there were some great speakers. I met a couple of friends there. It wasn't really about networking. I maybe got 1 or 2 cards, but it was just a corporate event I got invited to a couple of months ago, and I decided to go and have some fun. But I really think it's about strategic, knowing who your audience is and where they are, and ask people in your network.
And I love asking my clients, if they are my clients, that means they're probably hanging out with people that are also my clients. So, make sure that you're reaching out to people and asking them don't just ask random people, if women aren't your target market, don't ask the Mary Kay lady, ask people that are in your target market, where do they network, right? It's kind of like conferences. You don't go to a conference that doesn't have your target market there, Yeah,
it's very true. And I think sometimes it is a little bit of trial and error, Tonya. And I think that you'll find, I like meetups, but Meetup might be the best place to meet your ideal client. No offense to Meetup, but it may not be. So you have to find business events to go to, and that's where you pick up the phone, you call over people, you check out newsletters coming inbound, you attend events, maybe a couple of events here, like a Blab, maybe in your area, and you find out who the connectors and the networkers are in your area, and that really is very helpful. And you don't want to waste your time. Obviously we all got to drive, walk, whatever we got to do. So there's a little bit of work involved, but I think it's worthwhile work to use those connections effectively.
Nice. Love it. All right, let's go over to Miss Alicia. And Alicia, why don't you give us some insight of your amazingness about graphics? Because I think that's, one of the things that people don't value enough, and how important it is to showcase yourself with a good brand.
And you hit it the nail on the head, Tonya, and that is having a good brand. And it doesn't mean that it has to look a certain way or feel a certain way. What it has to be is consistent. Your message has to be clear so that people know who you are, who you serve, what you do, what problems you solve. And it has to communicate to everybody that's in your target audience. So if you are doing, for example, let's say you run a B&B, a bed and breakfast, your logo would be in conflict if it looked like a corporate logo, if you use dark reds and navies and blues. And so I encourage my clients to make sure that they're branding for their client in mind, for their customer in mind. And I walk them through determining their colors, their fonts, and their style, because that is so important. Because when you have these things consistently, when your brand is consistently displayed on your website, your business card, your banners, then people recall you better.
Yeah.
And that's huge, having that consistency.
Well, and I think that's one of the hardest parts about, we're talking really about the same things. When you show up to a networking group or a conference, if you have a nonprofit, you're going to network, you've got all of these things that are cohesive. And if you show up saying you're one thing, but your whole brand is off, then it doesn't really matter what you're saying.
Exactly. And I see that time and time again. People come in and they want to appear as a professional speaker or an experienced business owner or a thought leader, and their materials aren't supporting the caliber that they are. They're not supporting the years of expertise and knowledge that they have. And so I love being able to work with those people and fixing that for them, providing that stellar, stunning, dynamic material.
Yeah, because I know go ahead, Jim.
I just want to add, I actually 150% agree with what Alicia's talking about, and this is a big mistake a lot of people make, even online. I think everything should be across the board, the same picture. I see this time and time again, Alicia, done incorrectly. And Tonya has shared this many times with the group, and will continue to do it. And I think it's very, very important that you got to look the part. You have to look the part. And if you don't, I think you're losing business. So it's a fantastic point you make, Alicia. A really good point.
Well, thanks, Jim. And to touch, I'm sorry, John.
John, go ahead.
Oh, we can't hear you, John.
John, you're unmuted here, but you're not unmuted there. While he figures that out. Go ahead, Alicia.
Jim, I was going to share with you, I went to a conference last week. It was just one day. And one of the reasons why I went was to network, because this conference, like you said, had everybody in my target audience attending. Okay. And it was a great fit. I was going primarily to support the person putting it on, but secondarily to network. And I think that's key when you're networking, that you have to be consistent in your message when you get up there to give your elevator speech, and you have to go networking to actually meet people, because you can meet people online, but until you build that relationship, sometimes it takes a while to convert someone online to business.
And you see a lot of times people show up and their brand says one thing. There was a guy who was in construction, and he did home building, and he would show up in a full, I don't know how many piece suit, right, with the whole vest, and I mean, he looked way over the top, and no one believed he knew anything about construction, because he didn't look like someone who would know about construction, right?
Well, I have a quick story I want to share. I actually went to a 3-day conference in the weekend, and I got 2 speaking gigs, Tonya. And the way I got it is I didn't promote to anyone there. I just said I'm a speaker, author, trainer. I had a trainer because you suggested in our last conference to change what you're saying. I got 2 speaking gigs, and the guy says, yeah, we'll talk next week and go from there. So again, it's all about having that confidence in you, and that's why I think when I had a chance to meet Alicia in June, and she's done some amazing work with Tonya and many other members. But I think you really have to be confident in your colors and what you do. Like mine's blue, so I wear blue all the time. So you really have to be concrete on that.
Well, and a lot of times, go ahead, John. You're on. Yay!
Can you hear? All right, praise the Lord. What I find a lot of nonprofits do is they're so focused on making sure that they're winnowed down that percentage that they're spending on administrative and overhead, the ugly overhead myth that we hear a lot about. But the point is that they are a business, and they have to promote themselves, and it means that they have to have a consistent graphic standard. They've got to be promoting themselves, and they've got to have the same website package that it matches their print, matches their newsletter, matches everything that they put out. Otherwise, they really run the risk of mixed messages and not getting what they're trying to accomplish out there. And I just see that so often, and it doesn't require a huge investment. Somebody like Alicia, I'm not going to say how much I spent, but it was one of the best investments I made to have her work on my graphic standard and have a complete graphic identity, which I can take to any networking meeting, any professional conference. But those same business principles that we use in logo development and establishing that graphics, they're just as applicable for nonprofits as they are for Exxon or Google or IBM or any other for-profit business in America.
Yeah, and one of the things that I see that happens with speakers a lot is the same thing. They say, I'm a speaker, but nowhere have they branded themselves as a speaker.
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh, boy.
And how do you... How could you tell people that you're a speaker and you don't even say anything? When I first started in 2010, really as a speaker, I took a picture of myself with a microphone, and it immediately resonated with people. She's a speaker. And then I elevated all my graphics at the time, everything, my website, to a level that matched what I was saying.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think like that is that as well as I started speaking in 2007, but when for me, my recent websites, I made some alterations. On my main website, put a picture of me holding a microphone. In my PSA website, I had different pictures of me and speaking different areas. And I think that's important to do it correctly now rather than wait, because at the end, it's costing you money. At the end of the day, we want to make money using our expertise. And I think that,
how is anybody going to go, they're like, oh, I heard Jim is great. Let me go find out more about him. And then they go and nothing is cohesive. If you go to Twitter, there's one thing. And so this is what I see for a lot of people. All of the big event planners that I know, including myself, we don't just go to one place. We go to your website. We go to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're Googling you. We're going to your website. What do they all have connections? And do they showcase you as a professional in your niche? And do you look the part?
Yeah, and I want to think quick to add is I Google myself to see what's going on. I have a couple of great presentations that I've made, and they're actually the first page of Google. And I'm excited about that, so I keep sharing those because the more I share them. So it's very important. I have a number of events here as well in Toronto that I seek out speakers as well. I do the same thing. I check them out. So it's very important to have your websites parallel to what you're doing.
I love it. Again, yeah, and one of the things that I see from each one of you that I just particularly adore is that when you're speaking what you speak about, people know, it resonates, right? You're very succinct. That's not the word.
Succinct.
What is succinct?
Yes.
I'm putting two words together.
Concise, succinct.
Because I'm a speaker and I get all my words correct every time. So
Yes, you do. That's your job.
That's why I've got my 2 rules. You have to be nice and you can't be perfect. Yay! And so, and if anyone out there, oh my gosh, if you are trying to be perfect, stop.
You'll never achieve it.
We can look a little bit like we know what we're doing, right? Because Alicia can help us brand us, so we're like, oh, we look good, but yeah.
I did a talk last week, Tonya, and in my middle time, I used a Greek word. And people just looked at me kind of funny. A Greek word slipped into my talk. And people said, what was that word you used? It wasn't English, was it? I said, no, it was Greek.
Jim, you got to tell us now. What was the?
Yeah, what is that word?
I said thank you. I said efcharisto. So I said thank you.
Okay.
But instead of saying thank you for coming, I said efcharisto. Weird thing. I don't know. I said Greek for free.
It just comes out.
You normally say that?
That's awesome.
And I I tell you what, when things like that happen, it's brilliant when I'm speaking on stage and I mess up or people are like, huh? Because it just makes you're relatable at that point. And I think, John, don't you find too that a lot of people, especially in the nonprofit world, they have like this bubble around them where they don't, they're either trying not to elevate themselves at all, right? They're just trying to be like everybody else or even lower sometimes, like poor me, let's help me type of thing. Or they're unreachable. They're like this perfection thing. It seems like they're always on one side of the wall or the other.
You're right in that regard, and I find a lot of nonprofits they have this scarcity mentality. Some people call it a poverty mentality, and it's not. It's like, well, I have a nonprofit, so I can't really invest in. I can't really look the part. I can't present my organization as worthy of a philanthropic gift. Donors want to know that my gift is not going to keep you open for the next month. My gift will help keep you alive so that you can fulfill your mission years down the road, and ideally, in a perfect world, put yourself out of business because you solved the problem. But a lot of organizations, they deliberately kind of put themselves in, they're trying to not look all that well off. When in fact, donors take a look at that and they say, "Man, your furniture has got holes in it, and your counters have got little chips out of it." It's like, put a plate over the chip. Put a cover over the chair or something, but look professional. Most every nonprofit I work with, they're full of professionals. These are licensed people. They are degreed people. Sometimes they have masters and PhDs. These are very smart people. They're just as qualified as just about anybody in the for-profit world. Show it. Yeah. Make sure that people can be professional.
And that's really true with anything, with, people in business in general, nonprofits are for-profits, because people are like, well, I don't know why I'm not getting any business. Well, because you're going to that networking group and you're whining the whole time that you're not making any money. Who wants to hire you?
Yeah.
That's true. Well, I had one point, and maybe Alicia can touch upon this too, is I actually have attended a couple of events recently, and the speaker was ill-prepared. There was a lot of issues that happened. They didn't have a clicker. They didn't have a PowerPoint. I had everything with me. They were absolutely amazed. You bring that stuff with you? Yes, I do, because I'm a professional speaker. I'm always prepared. And I wanted to find out what Alicia and everybody else thought. I think being a professional speaker, I'm prepared. I told Tonya this many times. I carry my clicker everywhere, my projector. I carry things with you. So I think you have to be prepared, too. That shows a sign of you're in the game. You're doing it.
Absolutely. When you look the part, you are the part. And people see that. They know that. I think one of the things that you pointed out is that when you got on stage and when this other speaker got on stage, they were more apt to want to do business or network with you than they were the other speaker, because they knew you had your stuff together. Now, there's nothing wrong with a speaker not having a PowerPoint. I want to make sure that's clear. You don't have to have a PowerPoint to get your message across. But if you had planned on using a PowerPoint and you can't, and you're fidgeting with your remote and and your slides are all over the place and you're going back and forth, that is a problem.
Oh, yes. Yes, and this is
where
it's
also, with you, Jim, too, you've seen this in action where if something doesn't work, they've got to make it work, right?
Oh,
and then they get stuck trying to make their PowerPoint work because they've got a Mac and they're trying to put it on a PC and it's not working. Just give it up. Yeah. Remember, it's all about being imperfect.
It is, and I think that it's also that part of experience. I've had a chance to speak heavily for a number of years all around Toronto here, so I went through little struggles. I went into things happening, PowerPoint and not working and all that, and even my own PC events, Tonya. I had a situation 2 weeks ago, and we pushed through it. And unfortunately, I didn't have time to test my laptop, and we had some challenges. And Dylan Raymond, my presenter, he was like, man, you just making it happen. And we did. It was a little uncomfortable, but we need to make it happen. We need to get the presentation started. We stopped fidgeting. We said, we're going to do it this way. It's not perfect, but we're going to get it done. So I think it's important. But also, I believe what Alicia's been talking about is that I see a lot of mismanagement of the portfolio of the person. of what do you do? I find myself saying, what do you do again? I can't understand. I'm into your website. I ask. It doesn't. It's not obvious.
Yeah.
It is so. It is such a it makes me really sad, I guess, for lack of a better word, to see a person who's struggling, who wants to be a speaker, who wants to share their message, share their expertise, who wants to grow their business, and their message is here. It's all over the board. I serve contractors and ballerinas. You know, I mean, for lack of a better example.
Or what I find, Alicia, is a lot of times, especially for speakers, is they use such fluffy words that you don't even know what they do, especially life coaches. They're trying to come up with these, nonprofits are horrible about it. Oh, we're just going to make you feel good. And you have no idea what their mission is, what they can help you with, and what your money is going to do for you. Right? Not for them. What is it going to do for you? And I think that comes with a nonprofit issue too, is they think it's all about them and what they're going to do with the money. But realistically, the people who are giving the money, they want something out of it too, even if it's just going to feel good about it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want recognition. Some people just want to know that they're giving to a winner, an organization that really pushes the needle in terms of solving these problems. And those are the organizations that when they get that message out that we are more efficacious, I'm sorry, that's a big word. Efficacious. Four syllables. Sorry.
Can you be a little more simple?
I'm sorry, I'm from Texas, so we have trouble with those four-syllable words here. But they all want to know. Donors just want to know that they're not throwing money down a rat hole. They're not throwing money that is all going to go to salaries and overhead. They want to make a difference. And they pick your organization, for example. So treat them with the organization has to treat the donor with the utmost respect and honor, and do whatever they can to make sure that donor feels appreciated and that they know that their gift is being valued and used correctly. So so ideally you might get another gift from them and another, and they'll tell their friends about them.
I was on the board for the Central Texas Down Syndromes Association, and they were all over the map trying, I want people just to donate. And I'm like, why don't we put up a picture of the child and what we're needing to help them with? Because they were trying to order a bunch of these special bicycles for the Down syndrome kids. And I said, why don't you put the picture of the child who the bicycle is going to go to? Man, did that make a difference, because then you're actually showing people this is a person who's benefiting from this, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Link
on that note,
the gift.
Yeah.
Right.
On that note, John, you would find this really interesting. I worked with a hospital foundation who raised funds for the cancer center, and they decided that they were going to go with 3 logos for this walk-run-a-thon.
Okay.
Oh, 3 logos.
One event.
I don't even understand that.
They wanted someone's logo on this banner, someone else's logo on that banner. I mean, within the organization. And finally I said, you know what would work really well? Exactly. Do you know how a peace sign is shaped? It has a Y in the middle. Yeah. So can we just put the graphic elements in there? And they loved it. But again, these are people that get millions of dollars from fundraisers.
Yep.
And they were clueless about the importance of simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah. Well, I have something I want to talk about earlier. One of the things that I've learned from Tonya very well the last few years is your message. You have to have a concise message. Tonya asked us a few weeks ago during one of our trainings to do our infomercial. And I was the only one that actually, she said, yeah, it was good. The rest of the ladies, Tonya, and also had to coach them just for their infomercial to show what was their, at the end of the day, what was the result. And it was interesting to listen to this because these are very accomplished, but different industries. And I really believe if you don't get your infomercial, if you can't even get an infomercial that attracts someone, then, that's the most important thing. And, I've been working on infomercial for years. Sometimes I change it here and there, but I tell you, I know what I do. I expend it, and I think that anyone, no matter if you're a not-for-profit, you have to have a clear message. Just like you said, 3 logos. That's confusion.
That's crazy.
It was nuts.
That's crazy. So I encourage speakers, entrepreneurs, have a clear message, but have a point to the message.
Yeah.
Because they want to know what the result is, right? When people do the PSA, they
and
get
that's
a
really
result.
exactly, and that's really for everybody, though. If you're going to have your business card, I cannot tell you how many business cards look like just the logo and a bunch of stuff on it. If you're a speaker, you want yours to look like a speaker, right?
Wow, hot potato.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's get some
right. Thank you. You get some. That's what I need. I need to get a fan that blows on me the whole time.
The whole time.
Mine was good. I thought mine was good, Tonya, but okay, yours is the whole thing. Okay.
Well,
right.
it's about right. So you've got to show up. If you're going to say you're a speaker and you walk in the room and no one goes, "Oh, that's the speaker," then you're not showing up, right?
Yep.
You've got to come in with confidence, and then guess what? You've got to tell people, "Hey, I'm the speaker for today," because a lot of people, your picture may be up on their website. How many people actually go to the conference website? So.
Nobody.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm doing an event actually. I'm doing an event in early December, and I've been planning this event for 6 months. And the lady says, "We just for your pic." They put my picture on the internal communication, and they said that is even the organizers. That was one of the best pictures. They know you're a speaker. They can tell. It's such a good picture of you. So it's your branding is important. I just set my branding in now for an event happening in 2 weeks, and the guy says, "Wow, that was fast. I'm prepared. I know everything is. I have everything organized. I learned the hard way. You have everything organized. I found my logo. It was sent within 5 minutes."
Yeah.
He was like, I know everything is.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about Jim talking about that. I created a checklist for some of my clients that are professional speakers. Create one folder and put all of this stuff in that folder. And have it on your Dropbox, your desktop, your laptop, and a flash drive.
Yeah. Very good. Then Tonya told me that last year I had a situation where I was doing a bunch of proposals because I do a lot of proposals, and I organized everything on my external hard drive and on my Pinterest and my folders. Now I have everything on one specific area. I was doing a proposal yesterday. It was right there.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared. I'm a little bit of an extrovert, so my introvert sometimes gets the best of me, but I'm organized now where I can find things. But I think if you want to go out there and make a difference and really make money with your expertise and your passions, you got to have some things in place.
Well, you got to make it simple for yourself, just like you were saying, and Alicia's saying, if you try to simplify things that way. So if you're filling out a speaking opportunity page, right, and they're looking for a speaker, have everything on a Word doc that you're copying and pasting. Here's my title. Here's my description. You might be able to tweak it a little bit to make it fit that one, but your Twitter's there, your LinkedIn, so you don't have to keep going back and trying to find all this stuff.
I did that. I did that last week. I put it on a Word document. It's there. But again, there was another area where you gave us an exercise to do it was on a PowerPoint. You told us create a thing called Get Connected and write a lot of successful people that and I did it. And the next day after training, nobody had done it. I was the only one. I was like, all right, did it. It's there. It's saved. And I can add it. So I think you got to take time, once a week and really work on those parts of your business, from your business card to your logos and all that. I think it's an important part to have in place. So I had a chance to meet Alicia in June, and I tell you, she is done some amazing things. I mean, I show Tanya's speaker sheet when I go to my PSAs. This the way it's done.
There you go.
Both sides. So.
And I'm letting everybody know this is a transition for me still. We're constantly moving, and you've got to constantly work on yourself. Because I've seen. All right, so when we met with Alicia, what was that? 2013, I think it was.
Yeah.
And she walked up and she's like, well, I am not a speaker, but I would just like to, get involved, just, because speakers are my target market. And suddenly she's like flying to Virginia or someplace to go speak at all these places. And she's like, I got the bug. I got the bug.
I did. I totally did. I was just a graphic designer. Oh, I'm so much more now. Thank you, Tonya.
Yeah. And then she came with us immediately. I was like, okay, I'll speak at your conference. I'm like, wow.
It was a good conference. We had a lot of great speakers. It was great.
And I put in there the link to the conference. It's publicspeakersconference.com. It's June 26th through the 29th in Palm Springs, California. At the Hard Rock Hotel. And oh my gosh, the lineup of people that I have coming this year is, I can't even tell you. They're all like top 6-figure, 7-figure speakers. So I am super excited.
Fantastic.
Good.
It's going to be super exciting. So we're going to be posting all the new speakers shortly, but you can find out all about it. It's got the early bird going on and lots of other fun stuff. So tell us real quick, each of you, how can people get a hold of you? Do you have a free offer or something that you would like to give away today?
I'll go first. So you can go, I'll type in my website here in about 30 seconds. So I have two things. My book is online actually for a short period of time now. So you can go online, click on the picture on my website. I'll type it in here in about 10 seconds. You can download my book. I also have a button called the Win button. So you click on the Win button, you fill out the form. I pick one person, I give them a free coaching session on their business. I've done this for the last few months. It's been exciting to give insights to some startups of what to do, what not to do. So that's on my website, and that's it for now.
Awesome. How about you, Miss Alicia? Do you have something for them?
I am happy to give them I have changed my URLs recently, so I believe it's going to be, and I'll type it in. It's a branding checklist that gives you the entry or your basic product that you need, then the next level, and then another level of products that you'll want, and then some other considerations of products that you'll want for your branding. And that's just to give you some ideas and make sure that you, look the part, be the expert you're supposed to be.
Awesome. How about you, Mr. John?
Well, I will. I provide to anyone who will go on, and I'll type my website in. I'm not sure. I'm from Texas, so I can't speak and type at the same time. You understand? Yeah. But I will. What I will do is provide what I call the 12-step checklist. It's not a 12-step program, mind you. Okay. Okay, sorry, but it's really just a guide that, as you're working with a prospective donor, make sure that you're following these simple these steps to make sure that you're having the best successful solicitation possible. And it's free. Just email me and I'll send it to you. No obligation. All right. And if anybody would like a 30-minute consultation about their particular nonprofits, kind of some of the issues that they're facing, some of the challenges that they're facing, call me. 30-minute free consultation.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, I'll put that into the little chat area and make sure y'all all take advantage of all of that. And I would like to offer you a free coaching session. So I do a contest every single month. It always draws on the first of the month. So you got a little ways away, but you can wait. Go in there and fill it out. And here's the address. It's very simple. Tonya Hofmann /win/. I don't know why there's another slash, but it just won't do it without the other slash. But anyways, and don't ever forget my name is with one F, two N's, because my husband's family doesn't know how to spell their name right. So make sure that you take advantage of that. Also, if you'd like just to have a chat with me about public speaking, I would love that. I've got the Career Speaker Academy. We've got an upcoming event in January. And Jim just went through it and is about to be a certified career speaker and instructor. So yippee.
Well done.
And yay.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And so you could take advantage of our January event. It's towards the end of January. Information is on the Career Speaker Academy website. So I'll put that back in here. BACareerspeaker.com is the easiest link. And then, but yeah, get in touch with me. We would love to have you. We would love to have you on my show, just like this, to show how fabulous you are. So join the Public Speaker Association if you're already a member. You better be signing up for my TV show. We also have next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. So this, in case you're listening to the recording, it's November 16th, 17th, if I remember right. It's that Tuesday, Wednesday. And we also have December 16th, 17th, I believe is the one in December. But we've got spots still open. So take advantage of those.
Awesome. It's awesome.
It's awesome. It's only 25 minutes, straight presentation with lead generator at the end. So it's incredible. We get about 1,000 downloads of those recordings every month.
That is awesome.
I listen to them all the time. They're great. And the virtual summits are amazing. We have some amazing members in the PSA, and I'm excited about 2016 and not for the PSA and for the career speakers. Again, it was a pleasure to be on this show, Tonya. I'm launching my Blab show on Thursday night, 6 o'clock. So we are working on the details for what we're talking about, but I think it's about speaking and engaging and all that. So we'll do it. So I'm excited to be on this Blab. It was my first Blab. So thanks, Tonya, for the invitation. It was really exciting sharing.
Yay! Yes, and right. And
Yeah.
I'm really excited to let y'all know too. I was just approached by Blab to do a conference through their system. So I'm looking at doing going and doing a whole conference in December through Blab. So if you're a member, keep an ear out or a eyeball out for an email on how to sign up for that. So that's going to be exciting.
Awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
Congratulations.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Right?
That's awesome.
It's just about getting y'all out there more, And that's one of the things I wanted to let y'all too kind of keep aware is it's about giving, it's about helping, it's about moving forward. And that's really what speaking is all about. That's what each one of you are in business for, is to help people, So go out and help people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we have I'll tell you, our motto from the PSA is change the world from the front of the room, and I think we all have an opportunity to do that. I try to say it every day or twice a day or 3 times a day when I can, but I think we all have the opportunity to do that. And I was talking yesterday to a member who's going to be joining in December, and I said, you've written a book, you've done so many things. It's time for you to step up and leverage that book and expertise to make some more money in real estate. You're making good money, but you can get 2 or 3 speaking gigs a month if you really work on it. So I'm excited to help some new entrepreneurs.
And go back and look at the speaking opportunity page on Public Speakers under membership page, drop down. Go back and look at the ones that are still, because they're still booking for 2016 right now. But go back earlier in the year and see who's got things coming up, right? Because those are over. But it's good to go back and go, I need to keep this on my radar and join their newsletter or something like that. So you're like one of the first people to respond to it. So that's also a little tidbit for today.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, thank y'all all for being on. Thank you everyone for listening in. And if you're listening to the recording, yippee! So take advantage of all of this and make sure you connect with every one of us. So thank you, Jim Pagiamtzis, Miss Alicia White, and Mr. John Gilchrist. And this is Tonya Hoffmann.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to meet you, John.
Likewise,
Good
Jim.
to see you.